Hello everyone, I'm welcome to the Hunter Association, your source for all things Hunter x Hunter. My name is Kaige.
And my name is Dylan.
And on this week's episode, we'll be talking about Hunter x Hunter 1999, episodes 55 through 57.
Got a big fight to talk about this week. It'll be exciting.
Oh yeah, yes sir. Then of course, we'll be going through our community comments. If you'd like to join in on the community and have your comment read, be sure to comment on the YouTube version on the weekly community post. Also make sure to like and subscribe to help grow our community of Hunter x Hunter fans. Additionally, if you would like to know when new episodes are live, click the bell to enable notifications. If you're an audio listener, make sure to rate, review, and comment on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Also, be sure to follow us on Twitter at TXHXAPod, as well as Bluesky at THAPod for podcast-related updates and to submit responses to the weekly call-out posts. If you'd like, you can also email us at hunterassociationpod@gmail.com. As always, we have provided timestamps in the description if you'd like to skip ahead to any of the aforementioned segments.
We got through this without any technical difficulties this time.
Yes, we did. It's a miracle.
I know.
Okay, we do have a little bit of news. Nothing really that crazy at all, but Togashi tweeted a Machi sketch, which looked nice. He knows. He knows we saw that.
Yeah, that was the most self-aware thing I've ever seen from him.
Yeah. And stated that he has started inking chapter 426.
Exciting.
So, cool, yeah.
We're on like a weird weekly basis with Togashi tweets now. Complete 180 to how it was before, but
yeah, I know.
I'll take it.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll get more. Hopefully, I'll take weekly. I mean, hey, at least it's something.
Yeah. Also, that tweet happened literally hours after we recorded the last podcast, so sorry for not including it there. Unfortunate timing.
Yeah, it was comical timing, to be honest. Another little thing is, this isn't new news, but I just was made aware of it, that the Nen Survivor game, which, by the way, that name is really funny, because it's a Vampire Survivor clone, but it has a Twitter account, and it's been tweeting illustrations that I assume will be in the game. I don't know if those are the things you poll or whatever, but they've been tweeting weekly illustrations, and there was a nice one of Kurapika and Melody posted this week that I saw. So
yeah,
if nothing else, it'll be cool to see new art from that game.
Yeah. Always good to just see more official things from the series in the first place, right? So it's nice to see. I haven't been keeping up with it too much, admittedly, but I'll be keeping a closer eye on it. If anything, just for the new art. It's cool.
Yeah. All right, that's pretty much it. So you got an extra minute out of us for this intro segment.
Wow.
Sweet. Yeah, instead of 2, it was 3. Cool.
Yippee! Good for you guys.
Yeah,
Truly.
Look at you.
We're so up from the days of no news onto the main section.
Yeah, now we get to say 30 seconds worth of things.
Be grateful.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and talk about these episodes.
All right, let's get into it.
All right, everybody, welcome to our discussion on Hunter x Hunter 1999 episodes 55 through 57. Starting with episode 55, UVO, Kurapika, Melody of Determination.
Pretty fitting.
It's not referring to the character Melody. Just the act of being determined, I guess. Kurapika, probably, or both, even.
I think both. I think there's a level of determination between the two. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So this episode starts it starts, I think, about where we left off. Isn't this what they were doing? Uvo was just declaring that he was gonna go beat Kurapika.
Yeah, they murdered that guy, and now they're Uvo wants to settle the score.
Yeah. So we meet them outside of the hotel or wherever, and he's just kind of yelling about how he wants to get his revenge on the chain user, as he will be referred to as through this entire arc.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just they're kind of debating on I don't know, should we let him, should we not? Is this really that wise? How are you even going to find him? yada yada, until they pull out the coin or Nobunaga specifically pulls out the coin to make the decision for them, as the troop does. And it's cool. I like how, you can just get a sense for how many times they've done this because of how, like, it's like no words. They just do it. Uvo yells his call. It was heads, I think.
Yeah.
And
Standard
it's heads.
procedure.
Yep. Business as usual.
Also, I want to point out that, like, among them all, like, Egyptian god Finks over here still hasn't said a single word. That's just so funny to me. He's the only one there that hasn't spoken at all yet in this entire, like, arc so far.
Yeah, we haven't heard his voice yet. A few of them we haven't heard their voice yet, but I'm sure we'll get there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, like Pakunoda especially, right? Like,
yeah,
we've
barely seen Pakunoda at all. Same with Bonolanov. We saw him like once.
Also, I want to point out, really nice touch here that I just appreciate, because they didn't really have to do this, I guess, is like they left the bite mark from the fight with the Shadow Beast on Uvo's shoulder. And that's present throughout pretty much every single frame that he's on the screen for in this episode and the next, actually.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Really nice detail.
I don't think 2011 did that, actually. I could be wrong, but
I could be wrong on that too. I wouldn't be surprised if they did do that and it was just like hidden a little bit better, I guess. But just detail I noticed that I really appreciate, because like it's easy to get away with not doing that kind of stuff in the animation, especially. So I appreciate the kind of continuity of that being showcased here.
Yeah, it just makes sense, because I mean this is all happening so fast. Like this is pretty much one day and one night that we're seeing all of this. So of course he would still have that mark.
Yeah, exactly.
So he takes who's he take? Shalnark with him because he's a Brainiac, and has him help him figure out. And he reminds him also that he needs to start drinking beer, or else he's gonna die very soon.
Yeah, I appreciate that. He's like, oh yeah, we gotta go steal some beer now. Rest in peace to that convenience store owner.
Yeah, actually, I think it was just some guy. Like they just raided that guy's fridge.
Oh wait, no, you're right. That's so funny.
Poor guy.
Yeah, I can't imagine being in that situation.
For real, man. Yeah, terrible.
Also, this is the last time we see them in the suits for now, I think, or the majority of these. So
yeah, that's probably it.
Goodbye, Suit,
Damn
Shizuku,
shame.
and Machi. Yeah.
Yeah, hardly knew ya. All right, so now we cut back to Kurapika and the gang. And it really is now Kurapika and the gang, because everybody else is dead. And Kurapika will soon become leader.
Rest in peace, Delzone.
Yeah.
Hardly knew ya.
Yes, we did. So they're just kind of reeling from all the shit that just happened to them in the past couple hours.
Yeah.
Squalla.
Yeah, I was about to say Squalla especially is kind of like crashing out over this a little bit.
Yeah, he doesn't have his head on very straight, as he admits later. You gotta respect a man who can admit it, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're just like, what the hell do we do? I guess we gotta report to the boss. They're just like, I mean, that girl's really not the boss, but it's kind of all we got.
It's the closest thing they have to a boss right now.
Yeah. So they eventually make the call to just go see her. They consider like going back and try to find Daltoni's phone and stuff, but they're like, I don't think that's really worth the risk.
Yeah.
So they go and see Neon. Wake her up at 2 a.m. and she's just asking about the auction. Of course, they fill her in on everybody that's dead, and she's just like, well, what about my mummy? Do you guys get my mummy?
This girl.
And I also like this as just like a showcase of personality, because everybody else reacts to that, but Kurapika, cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah,
he doesn't even react to her saying anything. He's just, yep, this is what it is.
He's focused on one thing and one thing only.
Yeah. So they actually just offers the phone to them, saying that she can call Light, her father, and this prompts a discussion on who's going to be the leader now, like who should take this call. Kurapika says it should be Squalla because he's been here the longest. Squalla's like, I'm not built for that. Not me.
Respect it. Yeah.
Yeah, I respect the hell out of that. And they do like a vote thing. I guess you can call it a vote. They just kind of.
Melody's just like, well, why don't we vote? I vote for Kurapika, and everyone's like, yeah, that works. And then
Yeah, hell
Kurapika's
yeah,
kind
no
of this leader.
objections. Let's go. Yep. So Kurapika is unofficially, for the next couple seconds, the leader, and soon to be officially the leader.
It all happens pretty quickly. Is the point?
Yeah. So he's like, all right, sure, I got this. And he tells Neon to introduce him, which another detail I like, because it would be kind of insane if some random guy just called on your daughter's phone.
Yeah, that wouldn't be the greatest first impression, I would assume.
No. So he steps out and talks to Light, and he's just kind of like, he's asking for his opinion as acting leader. And obviously Kurapika is very adamant about protecting Neon, and Light is more so just like, I mean, yeah, but we should also kind of like, cater to her needs, quote unquote needs, her desires, I guess.
Yeah, her
case.
mommy needs.
Yeah. And he's just like, all right, I'll be there tomorrow evening and I'll talk to her myself. And he officially makes Kurapika the leader here.
And important to note here, basically his sole mission that he's given him right now is to just keep an eye on Neon. That is his only instruction, which is it's interesting to think about what Kurapika like actually does, right after this basically. I find it's something I thought about, and it contrasts really well actually with where he currently is at, like in the Succession War. I thought if you're reading the manga at all,
very very similar.
Yeah, but it's different at the same time because, like, obviously it's like different focuses and priorities comparative to the two places. We can talk about that more whenever we actually get into the Uvo fight, but and then later on with what happens to Neon. But just something I kind of thought about, like, that actually like is a really good contrast. With where he's at in both these parts of the series.
Yeah. Also worth mentioning, though, is he does say to Light that, like, I really think it'd be in our best interest to just leave the city. But, I mean, you could also argue he knew that Light would say no to that, so it's just, maybe he's making himself look good. Who knows? Anyways, so he formally accepts becoming a leader and starts ordering everybody around. He tells most people to just stay with... Actually, everybody to just stay with Neon.
Wow.
And he's gonna go deal with something else. Yeah.
Very vague about it too. He's just like, I got other plans. I'm like, okay, man.
Well, he has something to do. This is for now. This is still related to protecting Neon.
Yeah.
He goes and well, this is kind of all over the place. But he goes to a computer. We'll get back to him in a second. But first, we cut to Shalnark and Uvo, who are
they
browsing
raided a fridge.
Yep, they raided some guy's fridge and are now using his computer to access the Hunter net or whatever it's called.
Hunter net, the Hunterpedia.
Yeah, Hunterpedia. Where they find everything they need. They found that the Nostrad family is hiding under cover of a like subsidiary or whatever under the hotel, yada yada, whatever, some mafia nonsense I don't really understand fully, but they are there, and they found out through the employees of the Nostrad family. So they just kind of head there, and Uvo is drunk at this point and tries to give Shalnark a big old kiss, but Shalnark isn't really into it.
I loved how they animated this, like just
really
fisheye lens onto his lips, basically, the entire scene.
Yeah, dry ass lips, by the way. Damn, bro.
He does not
about that.
He does not use chapstick at all.
Evidently not.
I like the little dialogue exchange too. He's like, "No, just pay me, Uvo," and he's like, "Well, I said I don't carry cash on me."
Pay me. But yeah, Shalnark's last words to him are, "Don't let your guard down." To which he says something. What does he say in response? Oh, just sure. That's all he says.
Yeah, and then we get like a badass like rooftop running
so
sequence
cool.
with Uvo.
Yeah, that really stood out to me. It looks awesome.
Yeah, like the greenish looking moon kind of in the background. It's gonna be like Persona 3 vibes the way that was kind of framed. But
yeah.
I really liked it. Or that part in particular. Just it gave a good like sense of like urgency to like the entire situation, I guess, and that like Uvo is basically on the hunt now. Like it's only a matter of time.
Yep, he is the hunter hunting right now. Except he's actually not a licensed hunter.
Wow. He could be if he wanted to be.
He definitely could be. He would destroy that test.
Yeah, he would be the sole survivor.
Joke.
Yeah. I'd like to see Tompa try and get his way out of that situation.
Oh, yeah. That'd be interesting. Rookie crush Uvo. Yeah.
That'll go well.
Oh, yeah. Back with Kurapika and the gang, he's showing off what he was just looking into, which is just, he was, verifying what he thought. Like, okay, yeah, they can find out everything they need to about us from the Hunter internet. So he's showing all them that, and he's explaining that, okay, we got to move to a different room for now, at least. That's pretty much all we have time to do, rather than moving to a whole new hotel.
Mm-hmm.
So he orders all of them to go do that, and he will stay behind at the current hotel and, greet the troop, assumedly, is who will come.
I like how this showcases just pure common sense on Kurapika's part, but he really goes into detail here about how not only is it just quicker to go get to a new room rather than a whole new hotel, but to specifically book it under Basho or Melody's name as well, just because, although they're likely cross-referencing, the employees' names and, the rooms reserved and whatnot through that site, it hasn't updated, or it hasn't been enough time for it to update with, the newer people's names, aka, Kurapika, Basho, Melody, right? So just really quick thinking on Kurapika's part just kind of showcases how smart this guy is, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very good. Very leader-like.
Yeah, exactly. It showcases a lot of leadership qualities now. Not that he didn't have it before, obviously, but now that he's in the position he's in, really showcasing it now.
Yeah. And there's also there's a really weird presentation here of this moment, but he says something to Melody, and it's mouthed, you don't get to see it.
Yeah, but
and
then they
literally a couple seconds later they show you what he said. I don't know why we did it like that.
I don't know what the point of that was. Yeah, but okay, sure, I guess. Really weird.
All he said was that he'll be fine. He knows his enemy.
I think this is also the beginning over the next few episodes now of really interesting pacing decisions they're making with some of these moments. But
yeah, including right now.
Yeah, and it'll become more prominent as we get into the next episode, especially, I think. But we can talk
there's some weird
more
decisions.
They're I don't know. There's not really a ton to say right now, but just something to note that this is the beginning of an interesting trend.
I will at least say that I never really thought much of. From 2011 in the manga, I never really thought much of the Leorio Gon Killua plotline being a brick wall for the Kurapika story, but 99 really makes it feel like it is. In this adaptation, whenever you get to a scene featuring the three of them, it's you literally just bashed your head into a brick wall for a sec. Oh fuck, it's all just stopped. And
all momentum is gone. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so it does not feel like that in the source material or 2011 to me. I don't know, something about it, but it's especially evident next episode. I will talk about that when we get there.
Speaking of which, though, we do cut back after everyone leaves the room aside from Kurapika to the three gentlemen trying to build up money.
Yeah, so this is a scene we should have gotten before. It's just kind of stretched out this whole arm wrestling plotline. But they're on their final day now of this multi-day arm wrestling event where nobody's challenging them because everybody's like, oh, this kid like kicked everybody's ass, broke some arms. This ain't happening. There's no point.
I do find it really funny though that like Leroy's like, all right, I got like the next big idea for us today, and it's just like the exact same setup. That's the last day.
yeah, you're right. So, but all according to plan because the commotion or whatever, I guess word reaches some big boys to approach the table, and they wish to challenge Gon. And Leorio's like, hold on, I got this shit. And this is a scene that, of course, famously was cut from 2011 because 2011 hates Leorio so much for no reason. But Leorio takes the seat and arm wrestles this dude and completely annihilates him. I think breaks his arm, looks insane.
Smashes it through the table. Yeah, he destroyed him.
Yep. And the two guys are then like, okay, hell yeah, this is something big, and invites them to what is it called? Conditional auction, right?
Yeah, conditional auction.
Yeah, yes. And this was all according to Leorio's plan. He was doing this to draw in like a big fish, as he calls it. So after that, we cut to Uvo holding some guy up by his head in the shower, but he's still in his underwear.
Yeah, what is that all about?
Showering in his underwear. I don't know.
All right, more power to him, I guess.
Sure, yeah, I guess. Why not?
Also, Uvo has his shirt off here, too. That's interesting.
Didn't want to get it wet.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, it is very interesting. So he's just getting intel. This is a mafia guy who knows where he's from. Doesn't really matter. Uvo's just getting some intel out of him about the Nostrad family, and he gets everything he needs out of him and blows up his head. Poor guy.
It always like pops me whenever they do the thing of like, oh, I gave you everything, so you're gonna let me go, right? Ha 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 ha, and then just murders him. I love when anime or just manga does that. It's so funny to me every time.
It is pretty funny, yeah. All right, so then we cut back to the boys, the three boys, Leorio. We need a name for them. Team
Scalper.
Team Scalper. All right. Team Scalper is attending the conditional auction where this very androgynous host here is talking about the auction, about how they have targets. It's a hide and seek match, basically, as they call it. And it's of the troupe, at least the known members of the troupe that have been seen in Yorknew.
7 members for 2 million each, or 2 billion each, something
2
like that.
billion.
Right?
2
yeah,
billion,
2 billion each. So for a total 14 billion, Jenny on the line.
Or as Gon says, 12 billion.
Yeah, he can't do quick math, unfortunately.
I get it, Gon.
Like to see him immediately recognize, oh wait, that's that girl that I beat in arm wrestling though. Like,
yeah. So they, and okay, worth noting is they do not say that this is the troupe, by the way. These are just people.
Yeah. These are just, catch these targets, you get money.
Yep, 2 bill. So they're at first like, oh hell yeah, man, this is it. Like, we're getting Greed Island with this. And then later, I want to make sure this isn't like after another cut. Okay, it's not. We cut, we do cut, but to them again on a bench where they're talking about
it's
this whole thing. What?
It's so funny to me that like, it's like, well, you got to throw in 5 million to like, register for this, right? And they're like, okay, yeah, let's do it. Leorio throws the cash, onto the pile or whatever, and then the very next scene, it's like them contemplating, like, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
Like, why did you throw in the money so quickly then?
Should have talked about it before you did that, but
That thought didn't cross your mind initially.
I guess
Crazy.
not. They were just pumped up. But yeah, they're getting cold feet. They're talking about how. Actually, wait, is this that moment?
They were deducing basically like, this is a weird conditional auction. Like this is basically just a manhunt in disguise as a conditional auction. And so they deduced from that the only people this could be related to, due to recent events especially, I think, is the Phantom Troop.
The Phantom Troop, yep. Also, they talk for a long time because you literally see it turn from like dusk to night.
Yeah.
Damn.
They were really discussing this.
Yeah. So they're realizing that this is not going to be easy, but they're still going to try. And then we cut to Kurapika again, who is waiting in the hotel room.
Oh, important that we cut there also because Gon tries calling Kurapika to get some info on the Phantom Troop, or to let him know they have info on the Phantom Troop. They're trying to be good friends, and Kurapika just does not pick up that phone. Yep.
Nope. Not happening. Not yet, at least. So in the hotel room, we see Kurapika standing there, Uvo going up an elevator and shit, and then walking through the door. Looks sick.
Drinking beer the entire time.
Of course. Yep, and he tells him, where do you want to die? I'll let you pick the location. He just says some wastelands where you won't cause a disturbance.
I have a feeling your death cry will be loud. I love that line.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cocky as hell. And that's that episode. Pretty good. A little weird in the pacing department, but...
Yeah. Granted, it's not as bad as it will be. But kind of run of the mill, all things considered, I think. There wasn't anything crazy in this episode, but it was a good vibe throughout most of it.
Yeah.
And there was a good sense of urgency that the episode, and suspense that the episode was building up to Uvo and Kurapika's encounter, right? Kind of spent the entire episode kind of building up into that meetup, right? So yeah, I liked it. Episode was good. There wasn't too much out of the ordinary here, I'd say.
Yeah, no, it was a pretty standard episode, at least from what we come to expect from Yorknew in particular.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is the big one, obviously. Episode 56, Scarlet Eyes, Duel, Cost of Life.
I wonder what's going to happen.
Yeah, I really wonder. Well, unexpectedly, we do open with Team Scalper, actually. This whole first quarter of the episode, really, I can summarize this whole thing in about 3 seconds. They talk about the Phantom Troop.
Wow.
There you go.
Actually, you kind of did hit the nail on the head with that.
I don't know. They just, I guess the notable thing is that Killua talks about how his dad had a job to kill one of them at one point in time. And he said that, avoid them at all costs. Avoid the Phantom Troop. It wasn't worth the money. You don't take those jobs.
And he basically said, hell no, that's too annoying. So, these guys are big trouble. If you didn't pick up on that already somehow.
Yeah. So, I mean, this whole thing, I really don't know what else to say about it. It's just kind of the same thing the whole time. It's
really
talking
tough.
In circles.
They're doing stakeouts and stuff and exchanging information and talking about this whole situation, how, they need to do more effective searches. They need more hands for this, but there's not really a lot we can say about this. This is kind of just throwing exposition at us. but like not in a very fun way at the same time. If I'm being completely honest.
No, like I like the city atmosphere. Obviously, that's always nice to see. But
It looks nice whenever they're like actually out and about in the city, right? But it's
yeah.
just like it kind like this isn't what actually is happening in their dialogue. This just unfortunate the way it's structured. I think because like it kind of just feels like they're just throwing the same information as repeatedly. Like, oh, Phantom Trip's gonna be so difficult to catch. You know, we need more. We need a better strategy. You know, how are we gonna do this? And it feels like they're just doing that like on repeat for like 10 minutes almost.
Yeah, about 5
That-
minutes of the episode is this. Yeah.
Yeah, 5 minutes. I was exaggerating with 10,
Sure.
but it's kind of crazy still. That's like a quarter
It's
of the
like it's
episode.
exactly 5 minutes of the episode. Actually, that's crazy. They are talking in circles. Seriously, that is it. I really don't have any major takeaways from this. They just kind of talk about the hand they were dealt, and then we cut away from them.
Yeah.
And we will be back in this episode to my surprise.
Yeah.
But
let's,
before that, we have good stuff.
yeah.
So, then we cut to Uvo pissing. Awesome.
Wouldn't have had it any other way.
Yeah, perfect. He gets all the eggs out of him.
He's very excited about it too. He's like, "Wow, that's what it looks like, huh?"
Yeah, it would be interesting to see.
I mean, I suppose it would be, but I think I'm good on all that.
Yeah, I don't need all that.
He says it's very
and
gross,
then-
though. If it grosses out Uvo, then that must look really disgusting.
It probably does, yeah. Then, all serious now from here on out. We cut to Kurapika, who is he's saying like a prayer, basically, or like I don't know what you would call this exactly. An oath, maybe.
Yeah,
perhaps?
like some kind of like Kurta like oath or like some kind of Kurta prayer. Like I don't know. It's interesting. Obviously, something that he picked up from the Kurta clan specifically, but
Yeah.
basically using that as a way to portray he's doing all this for the Kurta clan. You know,
Yeah.
he's powering up. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, it was really cool though. It looked very atmospheric. I do really like Kurapika's purple aura. I gotta admit, it's pretty cool.
It's suiting for sure.
Uvo, he apologized for the wait and immediately deduces like, okay, you're something different. There's something about you.
Mm-hmm. Like those chains are. That's not the sign of a below average end user. Like he's well above that.
Mm-hmm. Kurapika takes off his robe and asks him if he remembers the Kurta. And Uvo definitely doesn't at all. Not even a little bit. He's just like, okay, so this is a revenge thing. He's probably been through this more times than we could possibly imagine. But, well, this will be the last time. And Kurapika tells him what the Kurta were. They had the Scarlet Eyes. Wiped out our whole clan. He's like, what, was that some kind of jewel? Damn.
Yeah, unlucky. He's like, well, 5 years ago, I was definitely a part of that, but,
Yeah.
I can't be bothered to remember.
Yeah. That's just insane to think about. So, like, 5 years is a while, but, like, it's not that long. You'd think you'd remember, like, an entire massacre of a clan.
Yeah, but, like, if they've done plenty of stuff like that also.
Yeah, that's what puts it into perspective, because, like, yeah, it was only 5 years ago, but they have done so much other shit in those 5 years since then that was nothing. Like, who thinks about that anymore? That's old news.
If something like that is like blurring together with everything else, like you truly did some fucked up stuff for sure.
Yeah,
that was crazy. But that's not even the breaking point for Kurapika. Because Kurapika finally asks, like, did you feel like anything at all, like whenever you slaughter people who has nothing to do with you like that? And Uvo just says, no, nothing really.
Mm-mm.
And then that makes him crash out a little bit, Kurapika.
Yeah. So, do you want to let's open the floor. Let's do like just a free form discussion of this fight, because recapping it step by step feels a little whack to me.
I agree.
Let's just talk about this fight. What were the highlight moments for you? I think in general, I really like the fluidity of it.
Yes, it was very motion heavy compared to a lot of other moments that this series has animated so far.
Yes.
It didn't feel very stiff in like the choreography of it. There was a lot of flipping around with Kurapika especially, and just a lot of like evasive maneuvering, but it looked very, very clean, especially for the time, I thought.
Yeah, the one thing I will criticize is the camera work. I thought was wild. Like I there's a lot of movements that are very hard to follow because the camera, I don't think it is placed where it should be. And this is probably just like modern anime sensibilities where, I mean, modern anime has really figured out what to do with the camera. And back then, this is a problem you'll see a lot, but I think it is very evident here where there's just like shots and camera cuts that make no sense and are very hard to follow. But I think overall it looks fantastic. This is probably the best overall looking episode we've seen so far. Aside, I think the best so far in general was the Hanzo versus Gon fight. But this is definitely at least number 2 for me.
Yeah, I think a lot of it also has to do with like, I feel like there were a lot of shots within the fight that was like maybe too like zoomed in, like on like a specific like person or body. Like I feel like a lot of it could have been easier to follow if it was just like panned out a little bit more and we could see a little bit more of what was happening in totality, right? Instead of just like zooming in on Kurapika's arm getting blown up, right? Or you know, stuff like that, right? Just kind of like seeing what's happening around them in totality rather than focusing on like a specific moment, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm doing a bad job of describing this, I think, but I just think the camera was zoomed in a little too much at points, and that made it hard.
I know exactly what you're saying, and this is something I noticed myself too when I was making the thumbnail for this earlier, and I was trying to find like a really good shot of the two of them just like duking it out. But there's kind of not. Like all of the shots are very close to their faces or like body parts that you almost can't even tell that they're like fighting each other. It's almost just like two separate things being intercut with each other. It's really weird. I'm not describing that well either, but it really is just bizarre how close the camera is to them.
Yeah, so that combined with how like fast they make this fight too, it makes it a very like, it's very like thrilling to watch if you're not thinking about it too much, but it is very hard to follow, admittedly. And I think we probably even have an easier time following it because we've seen this fight in various variations a billion times too, right? Yeah. So like we kind of know the general script of what happens with this already, right? But if you were to put like a brand new viewer into 1999 and watch this for the first time, I feel like they'd probably struggle a little bit with keeping up with this.
Yes. That was my biggest takeaway from this, and it left me with a weird taste in my mouth because like I was trying to put myself in the shoes of somebody who has never seen or read this before, and I was just thinking like, would I understand what just happened? And that's a very hard question to ask yourself because this is something, I mean, me and Dylan both know this like the back of our hand. Like this is, I'm pretty sure we've both seen this collectively like 100 times. So
something like that.
I don't know how to accurately gauge that, but I will say 2011, it stops. You know, you are able to breathe. It's not like a quick, like everything's just happening. It's like 5 minutes done. It's a whole episode. It's an entire episode is this fight. It stops to explain things. We get inner thoughts. We get an explanation of Holy Chain, which I think is important because Holy Chain just happens and that's it.
It just kind of happens
and that's
here.
Fine. Like, yeah, you can, if you have a brain in your head, you can just be like, okay, it's a thing that heals you. But I don't know. It's just something about not getting the full explanation because also in the manga, you get the Togashi, like narration text boxes explaining all of the abilities as you go. Here, there's nothing. You do get the flashback with Izunavi placed here, where Izunavi figures out that Kurapika is a specialist whenever his eyes turn red. Which, by the way, Izunavi was not voiced by Kozuki Yao in that flashback. I guess they could only get Kozuki Yao for that one episode.
That's so funny.
They couldn't afford him. But, anyways, yeah, they do that, and it's an adequate explanation. It says that you become a specialist when your eyes turn red.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't really get to understand what that completely means, I feel, because it's just really brushed over. It happens so fast. And he does explain it, but it's just so quick.
And
there's no emphasis on it.
And that might be just my biggest gripe with this entire fight as a whole, especially because I feel like if you're gonna have anything in Yorknew, especially to really take your time to breathe on and to kind of let some moments of silence happen and let the audience kind of take and process that information as it's coming in. I feel like it's this fight, and I feel like it adds to that, especially due to the weight of what Kurapika must be feeling right now. Fighting Uvo here, he's getting his chance at fighting a Phantom Troop member now. He has a lot of sorrow in his heart as a result of Phantom Troop's actions, right? It's a very heavy situation overall. You aren't supposed to feel good about this fight in general, I think is the thing,
you're
right?
Not.
But then and I think it's even more apparent how big of a problem it is of 99 kind of rushing through the beats of this when we finally get Uvo trapped in the chain jail, especially. Because I feel like that moment, I think, for comparison, and I know some people complain about how we talk about 2011 a lot when talking about this series, but I really think this is applicable here to show a very good way of showcasing the final beats of this fight. Is that 2011 really lets you sit on Uvo being in the chain jail and kind of letting you feel the gravity of the situation and how tense the entire scenario is building, right? But here in 99, the whole thing is over within 3 minutes of Uvo being in the chain jail and him, dying. And I really, really dislike that. I feel like it felt so rushed for how heavy the situation has to feel when you put yourself in the shoes of Kurapika. And it's most apparent there, which is why I'm bringing that up specifically right now. But that's present throughout this entire fight, I think. Even throughout the just the basic, evading Uvo's attacks and, hitting him and whatnot. It just feels a lot cleaner when you're able to kind of have these moments of levity and to breathe, while, they're monologuing or explaining the abilities or talking, right? But 99 doesn't really do that. They just they start the fight, it goes to 100 basically immediately, and then it's over before you can even think about it. And I don't know if I like that very much, if I'm being honest.
Yes, a lack of impact is how I would summarize this. It just doesn't. You don't feel the weight of what Kurapika's doing in this adaptation. And that really, really bothered me. And yes, as Dylan said, this is especially present during the scenes where Uvo's chained up, the final part of the fight. Because in 2011 and the manga, I will also include the manga in this so everybody can stop complaining about 2011. But there is a very clear building of dread in Uvo. Where at first it's whatever, man, chains, I got this, who cares? And then as Kurapika slowly starts to unravel what is happening to Uvo, Uvo starts to be oh shit, I mean, I guess I'm just dead. And we don't get that here. Uvo's final moments feel really lackluster and not monumental in any way. Whereas the presentation in 2011 and the manga, it feels important. This is the final moments of a very loyal man.
Yep.
A very good friend. and it feels like nothing here. It's just, this is some like fodder bad guy. Maybe that's too harsh. I probably is a little too harsh, but I did not feel what I should be feeling at Uvo's death here, and that is especially evident in the Judgment Chain scene, where it pierces his heart. It is so damn fast. It just happens. He falls. Done.
You would think he like kills him immediately, basically with the Judgment Chain, but yeah, compared to the other adaptations, though, it really like as soon as he pierces the heart, you feel like the oh shit moment, like this might be it, and it hangs on that, and it builds the suspense for it and the dread that Uvo must be feeling in that moment, like damn, this is like actually over if I commit to this, right? And that's awesome. But then I don't feel that with 99 here because it just like immediately rushes to Kurapika like last chance, tell me information. And he just says, you know, go to hell or whatever, and then he just explodes. It's like that all happens within 10 seconds. And I hate that. I really do.
Yeah, it's like they're sacrificing cool directorial decisions for just like a realistic flow of conversation, which is really odd to me. I think things like this need time to let it sink in and let you feel the impact, including the chain piercing the heart. We don't even get to see it. Like, it doesn't go like the X-ray vision and see the heart or the heart get pierced. It's just, it's all on the outside. We hear it, and he falls. And his final words of, you know, like, go to hell, asshole, or whatever it is in the subs here. There's like no impact. It just feels like a throwaway line. Whereas in go to hell, you idiot, is what he says. Yeah, it's just, it doesn't feel right. He says that and then immediately coughs up blood dead.
Yep.
I praise 2011's version of this fight all the time for this exact moment. Because that is a moment. When he says that, like, the whole world freezes. Like, those are words that struck Kurapika to the core. Not because of what he said, but because of the act of what he did. He's realizing that there's literally nothing he could have done to make this guy talk. He is that loyal. This is emotions turning in Kurapika that he was not expecting to feel. And I will say, this adaptation at least does a good job of showing us the aftermath of that. But the moment itself just doesn't feel impactful to me.
Yeah, and it's a damn shame because I really wanted to like I was really looking forward to that specifically out of this fight to see what 99 would do with that, but like it's just like strictly worse on like all accounts. I feel like, and it kind of sucks to have that opinion. I don't really like that I feel this way about it, but it is what it is, I guess. Although I want to follow up on talking about this fight because like kind of making a shit sandwich here. We kind of praised like the fluidity of it. And we're talking about what we really don't like about the fight, but I want to add like the visual flair of the fight, especially with like the how they handled the aura through the fight and just how like the chain situation looked in general, right? I think it did a really good job with that at the very least. So it's not all doom and gloom, especially with the chain jail sequence. I think it looked great. It's just direction wise, I feel like that those scenes could have been played out a little bit better. And low key, maybe if they had more time by not shoving us into a brick wall with Team Scalper, maybe this episode would have been a lot better.
Yes.
Just saying.
Yeah, I'll get there in a sec, but yeah, I think they kind of screwed themselves over with the way they structured this episode. They literally made a reverse shit sandwich.
Yeah. Actually, insane.
Okay. So let me get back to the end of the fight here. So yeah, I will say too. By the way, it did. That's my main takeaway. Like on a positive note, is just how it looked. I think it was very visually appealing. The lighting was really nice. The atmosphere really worked for this fight. I just think the presentation was really off, and the big moments just didn't hit as much as they should. There was just very little impact. And this is something we talked about very similarly with the Hisoka and Gon fight. And so I guess that's just a problem with this adaptation in general. It just doesn't know how to emphasize the big moments.
Yeah, it feels like they have an idea of like what should be the big moments, but then they don't give enough flair to those moments to really make them stand out, and like that sucks.
Yes.
Like I should not be like I should not be feeling the same amount of emotion here in this fight as I did with like I don't even know. Like Hanzo Gon. Like clearly one moment is a little bit bigger than the other, but like it's like kind of like the same vibe almost, you know? And I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, it's just strange. But I also do want to say, because we don't talk about it enough, the music was fantastic.
Yes, absolutely. The soundtrack was a banger here. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I really liked it.
I don't know for sure, but I think they like actually scored this part, because I don't recognize the music from anywhere else during this scene, and it like flowed throughout the whole fight. So I think this is actually like a scored scene, which is really cool. I could be dead wrong about that. I don't know. Somebody let me know if you're more familiar with the soundtrack of the series, but regardless, sounded very good. I really liked it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so Kurapika, gets his trusty shovel and buries him, and we have, the very, very nice scene of the moon like dripping red down onto the earth, which was really cool.
Yeah. Granted, that happened immediately after. So basically, everything from Uvo's death onwards is actually really cool. I think I really like what they did here.
Yes.
Because basically, as soon as Uvo drops dead, Kurapika like kneels down on his knees, and we get a really cool shot of him like grasping his face, only the scarlet eye visible there, and it leads directly into like the red moon, and it has like a visual of it kind of like bleeding down into the earth almost. Looks so sick. I like that. That's like wallpaper worthy, honestly.
Yeah, it was really, really cool, and it's again, as I was saying before, it's a very nice way to subtly showcase what Kurapika is feeling in this moment. It's a very complicated emotion.
Like he has all the power in the world to defeat them. He confirmed it with Uvo, like everything, but like obviously like. That's not enough. I think that moment is portraying him like realizing that like his sorrow isn't gonna go away in an instant, even with killing a troop member, even knowing he has the power to kill all the troop members, right?
Yeah, like I mean, this was the ultimate test for him. It couldn't have possibly gone better. This is literally the physically strongest person, and he pretty much did it with no problem. So this should be like a hell yeah moment, but he is not feeling it.
No. Yeah, he very complicated situation, obviously, but like, so they nailed the feeling of that at the very least, like the consequences of the actions here, like, and what Kurapika's feeling. I think they portrayed that really well, which makes it even like more frustrating that like they couldn't have that same kind of flow and vibe with the rest of the fight.
Yeah. And there's I like the moment of him walking away with the shovel, and you just hear like the shovel kind of like, scraping along the ground. Really nice and atmospheric. I like that a lot. And that'd be a fantastic place to end the episode. But we then cut to a guy on the street singing the first opening. What in the world?
It was it is the craziest mood killer of all time to go from that into the first opening.
What the hell was that?
What? 99, you were doing so fucking good with like at least like ending on a good note, despite not having a ton of impact for the Uvo like dying stuff, and then you just immediately just switch gears in the same fucking episode.
It's so confusing. There's been so much weird disregard for Gon and Killua before with favoritism for Kurapika, but then during like Kurapika's biggest moment, they're like, you know what? Actually, we should spend half of this episode with the boys doing bullshit that we do not care about right now.
I don't get it, man. And like, okay, like I know with the first opening thing, they just meant it as like a cute little Easter egg. They probably didn't have any like real intentions with that, but like it's so oh my god! Why could you just
That's my thing. Why here? Just
you
do it later, man.
You could have had this moment like before the Kurapika fight. Still, you could have reordered this entire episode. Like, I don't understand why you don't end it on Kurapika looking up at the sky. I don't get it. I'm so frustrated.
I would honestly, I want to do like an edit of this episode and just move this shit to the front and then put the rest, all the Kurapika stuff at the end. I don't know why we structured it like this. Why are we book ending with this shit? Oh my god, it's so weird.
Fucking
I don't
Scalper,
get it,
man. Oh,
and
God.
no shade, I genuinely like this auction stuff. I love it in 2011 and the manga, but the presentation in 99, I'm telling you guys, it's just off. I normally do not talk this way about the Gon Killua Leorio storyline throughout Yorknew.
Yeah.
These are new feelings to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's unique to 99. I will be able to uncover these feelings more, especially when we talk about next episode, because I have thoughts about that as well.
Next episode will be really like the discussion on all of this section that they're doing, but like even at this point, but even before discussing next episode, it's like it's just somehow like all of this is just somehow more boring than the other adaptations, and I'm not even still entirely sure why that is. Maybe it's just because they linger on this stuff for like way too long, while also breaking up a lot of the controversial opinion. I know the more interesting stuff this arc with this constantly. I don't know what it is, and I'd probably have to revisit the other adaptations to see how they handle it as well. But yeah, something is just off to me about the Gon Killua Leorio stuff here, and I didn't think anything bad of it any other time I've experienced this part of the story. I don't know what it is about 99. I really don't.
Yeah, it's really hard for me to pin it down. I think it may just have something to do with like the pacing or like the placement of these scenes. You know, it was. I feel like there's more of an effort to divide these two storylines in other versions of this story, whereas here it's all kind of blended together and it doesn't feel right. I don't know. I'll be curious. Well, we only got one comment this week, but I'll be curious to see if insert name feels similarly.
One comment,
but also in the comments, please.
Crazy.
Yeah, we'll have a community comment segment. No shade, it's fine, guys. Shade. It's fine. But in the comments, please let us know, like of this video, please on YouTube. Please let us know if you feel similarly or if we're totally off base. I don't know. I don't know opinions on 99 really at all until I read them from you people. So
maybe we're overreacting for all we know. Who knows? But I don't know. Something just feels off.
But let's finish this episode very quickly. This is really, I don't know what to say about this entire scene, actually, before we cut to Owl again. I'm just going to summarize it as they talk about ways to get money, they shoot them all down, and then Gon pulls out his hunter's license. That's the whole scene. We'll get back to what he does with the hunter license in a second, but first let's talk about Owl.
Well,
our poor boy, he's not looking good.
No, can't even see his face. It's all bagged up.
Oh, our poor king. He's seen better days.
Oh, poor guy.
He'll be back, guys. Trust the process. He is still alive, and he's on the black whale.
That's right. You gotta believe. You just gotta believe.
So, in another room, though, of that hideout where Owl is being kept, they are realizing that Uvo hasn't gotten back yet. And they're like, okay, so we know he went to fight a chain user. Crollo's speculating, like, okay, he's probably either a manipulator or a conjurer. Both of those are probably a problem for Uvo because he's meathead, basically.
Yeah, he's a meathead, and in a one-on-one fight, it's he's probably not going to do too great. It's just bad matchup, basically.
Yep. So they are going to wait until dawn, and if Uvo isn't back by then, they are going to change plans.
Seems good.
Change plans they will.
Yeah, to say the least. Well, we'll get there. We'll get there. Not in this batch. But
and hey, another awesome moment to end the episode. All right, great one. Nope. We get going again. We're back. All right. Going. Pawns off his hunter's license. We all know how it goes. They're like, what? No way.
Well, why are you doing that? He's like blushing the entire time also, by the way. I don't know what that's
that
about.
was a strange decision. I'm not really sure what that was about. But
Is that
I
supposed to
guess 'cause it's
portray
just,
like he
that
knows it's a
sinking
bad
feeling
idea?
of like, yeah, maybe, yeah, like I usually in moments like that, your face gets like flush and pale, not
Yeah.
red.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it looked very weird. I wasn't sure what to make of that, but he pawned off his hunter's license.
With
Yeah.
the goal of scalping,
Yep.
as Team Scalper does. So
That is what they do.
that's their plan. That's that episode.
We end the episode on Gon pawning off his hunter's license. Out of all things in this episode to end off on.
So damn weird. Ugh, I hate it. I don't understand why this episode has to be structured in this way.
This is like the most frustrating episode of all time to think of a consensus for, because like I want to say with all my heart that yeah, this episode was pretty good. It had some good stuff in it. You know, I enjoyed my time. But I think all I can say is this was the most frustrating episode to watch so far in the series, and that's shocking to me.
Yeah, it really was frustrating, and in very unique ways as well. Because
This isn't like a anger kind of like why the fuck did they did this like they did with like Gon Hisoka in Heaven's Arena. It's nothing like that. This is frustrating in that there were so many like fixable ways to make this a fantastic episode, and it adhered to none of that basically, and I just don't understand why. I really don't.
I don't either. I don't get it. It's
there
just
was-
so baffling to me, the structure of this episode.
If there was just a hint of just a little extra structuring or direction effort put into this episode, it would have been fantastic, obviously. Just reorder some of the scenes, basically, and don't end off and kill the mood with Team Scalper shenanigans, or the opening one playing immediately after Kurapika's drowning in an indescribable like sadness. Like oh my god, I just don't understand. I just don't. I don't know. My feelings on this episode are complicated.
Me too. It's very hard for me to wrap my head around. I genuinely wish we got more comments in this episode so I could see more thoughts about it. But it's all right, guys. No hard feelings. But
yeah, no hard feelings. You know, we're like the happy face mask with like the anger face behind right now.
I really did want to see some thoughts on this one because I want to know if I'm insane.
Yeah, me too. But we only have insert name to bounce off of for now.
We'll get there. Anyways, let's talk about this last one. This won't take very long. No. I don't really have a whole lot to say about this one. But,
after discussing this last episode, I'm not sure how much care I want to put into discussing this one, but we'll try.
Yeah, we'll get through it. I'll broad strokes. So, okay, this is episode 57, Gon, Treasure, Dangerous Man.
Wow.
Who is the dangerous man even? Is it certainly not Zepile? I don't know really who they're referring to.
That's supposed to refer to Gon because they made that Zepile made that comment towards Gon, like, wow, his we'll get there. That's towards Gon.
Oh, you're right. I forgot.
I don't want to spoil like 3/4 of the way through the episode at the very beginning of the discussion.
All right. So they go and meet with somebody. Who is this? Like an auction host or whatever? Like,
yeah, they go to the auction hall to check out the specific items that'll be auctioned off at the auction.
Yes.
Specifically to find the price for the minimum starting bid for Great Island. Yeah.
Yep.
Which is 8.9 Jenny, I think is what it was, something like that. Or 8.9 million Jenny. That's important. It's not 8.9
billion.
Jenny. Yeah. 8.9 billion.
$8.
$8 for Great Island.
They've been wildly over preparing.
That'd be a really funny bit though. They just hoard a shit ton of money and it's like dirt cheap actually. They got lied to.
I would love that. I wish that happened. All right. So yeah, beyond that, I mean, they just see that and they're like, all right, let's go. And the rest of this episode is basically just learning about auctions because that's probably what Togashi was into during this time.
Yeah, this entire episode reads like an infomercial, basically, of like how auctions work and the terminology of scamming through auctions and stuff like that. It's weird.
And it is cool. It's cool. I do like learning about this, admittedly. The presentation here is just really off, I feel. This episode looks really ugly. The
Yeah,
character
it's not
designs are
great.
kind of whack. I think this episode might have been outsourced. I can't say for certain, but it doesn't really look right.
They used 2 weeks worth of budget on the last episode. They ran out of money for this one.
Yeah, apparently. So they first go and discovers this knife, and he just kind of instinctively wants to buy it. We don't know why yet. They get it. They have Leorio haggle with them, and they get it. And Keela was like, "Oh yeah, this is a serial killer had this. This is one of his knives. I don't know his name."
Also, I want to point out they had Leorio go and
Benny.
haggle for the knife, but it was a silent auction.
Yes.
How does
I was
how
about
does
to bring
that
that
work?
up. I don't know. Yeah, the guy literally says like, "Yeah, it's a silent auction. You write down your thing. If somebody else does it, whatever, yada yada." And then immediately after that explanation, they say, "Oh, Leora, you're good at haggling, right? Go get that for us." Like, what? Just breaking
Yeah,
the
I
rules?
thought-
What happened?
When he said that, I thought it was like, okay, this is just like a little bit, like they're just making a joke out of it. Killer doesn't know what a silent auction is, and then it works. He haggles it. Like,
Yeah,
that's
they
not
did it.
how a silent auction works. There is no haggling in a silent auction, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, I mean, they just explained it to us, and it sure made it seem like you couldn't, but it happened.
Anyways, I just wanted to
So-
call that out. That was really stupid to me, but whatever.
Yeah, they pay 300 Jenny for it, and Keel was like, "Yeah, it's probably worth like, what did he say, like a couple 100,000."
Something
300
like that, yeah.
Oh no, 5 million! What the hell? Holy shit!
Tosh! Okay, wow.
This is the biggest payout they got. It was the first
Yeah.
one.
Well, it's from Benny Dillon, right? The serial killer.
Of course. So, yeah, then they come up with the idea because they remember what Wing told them about how there's Nen traces on people, like on objects that like really skilled people made because they end up using Nen without even realizing it because they're so talented or whatever.
Yeah, so they're like, all right, yeah, foolproof way to make money. We use Gyo and we find any items that has Nen on it and we sell for profit.
Yep.
Yippee.
And that's what they do. They go around and find Nen signatures and stuff.
They had like a nice little animation, actually. I thought also where like they like clasped hands together and like, all right.
Oh,
let's do
yeah,
this.
yeah.
It had like an impact frame and everything. It threw me off a little bit.
That was sick. So yeah, then they go around and get stuff. We see the bootleg ceremony urn.
Yep,
Nice to see.
not important at all.
Not important at all. And they come out with a few items, like a doll, a signed picture, and then like a wood sculpture. One of these is more important than the others.
To say the least, yeah.
So they take it to some schmuck who appraises them and says they'll give them, I don't know, a couple 100,000 for the two, the doll and the paint or the autograph. And like, holy shit, hell yeah. That's like way beyond what we paid for them.
Mm-hmm.
And then he looks at the wood thing and he's like, this thing sucks. This is garbage. I'll give you like a couple bucks for it.
Well, he said like, yeah, he said this isn't worth a whole lot, but it's made from
Yes.
some wood. I know a guy who'll pay good for that, so I'll pay you a little bit,
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah. So he tries to cut him a deal. Then he's like, hey, can I just take this to the back and like check out the wood? Like, yeah, sure. And then Zepile comes in. He's like, hold on. That's bullshit.
Scammer alert.
Yep, caught that scammer. He's holding his mobile phone, making a TikTok out of this. So, yeah, that happens. He saves him from the scam, and they really cut the hell out of this scene. There's like in the manga, this is like a whole thing where they, he explains how this is a scam. But that just doesn't happen, and they're safe. He does explain it later in a non-canon scene. It's all weird, whatever. 99. It happens. So, cut to the scene of them eating at the restaurant, and they do the whole information exchange, like question for question.
Mm-hmm.
All this. Zepile made the the fake ceremony urn. He's curious about them. Asks like, whatever. Why you want the Greed Island? Find my dad. Whatever. I don't know what else important is said here. Anything? Not really.
No, not really. I'm gonna be so real. I was kind of snoozing at the wheel through this scene, but
yeah. By the way, Zeppile's design is really whack in the anime. He looks really inconsistent. In like literally every shot, he looks like a different character. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, something about him looks off. I don't really know what it is, to be honest.
He looks like a filler character. He doesn't look real. It's
yeah.
Bizarre. I don't know how to explain it. It just doesn't look right.
I will say one other notable thing in the scene. We see Milky walk by the cafe in like a random
Yeah, we
shot.
do. He's on the move.
Yeah, big moves. Big moves for Milky.
Let's go. Touch that grass.
Well, he was eating potato chips as he was walking, so I don't know if he's doing much of that still.
Probably not. But yeah, ending off with a nice note of Zeppile saying like, "Oh, this shit's useless. It sucks," and Gon's like, "No, it's not useless. You put work into it. It's very cool. You're awesome." It's like sick, and now he wants to work with them as their appraiser.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he does. They take the wood statue to somewhere, some hotel room. I don't know. Maybe it's where Zeppile's staying.
Oh, it was towards a. He mentioned it before they went there.
Oh, did he?
Oh yeah. Okay, no, yeah. They went to like his room or something. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Sorry, I was getting ahead of myself.
Oh. They bust open the wood statue and all the gems come out, and they're like, "Wow, crazy."
Yeah, well, that's a lot of riches. That's a lot of money. Wow.
Yeah. So he's like, "All right, we'll put this up for auction." We're gonna.
The boys suggest, "Hey, let's take it to the auction hall," and Zeppile's like, "Well, no, it's a little too late to be putting those in for the actual auction. So let's go to an auction review." Is what it's called, I think. So.
Yeah, something like that.
Basically just
people are gonna look at it.
Yeah, a lot of other appraisers will look at it, and it's like a mini auction, basically. It's not like the big one.
Yeah, so that happens.
It sure does happen.
And okay, I admittedly enjoyed this scene more than I should have. I don't know, I was just kind of entertained by this conversation, but basically, Dylan wasn't feeling it. But basically, they show this thing off. Bunch of people look at it. This one guy in particular is bald and has a goatee. He's like, "Nah, this shit's whack, fake, no way, sucks, lol." And Zeppile comes up and he's like, "No, actually, this is real." And then Gon comes up and he's like, "Hey, can you tell me about like other ways to whatever, like fake things, scam people?"
Yeah.
Because I'm a scalper, I'm trying to get more methods.
Yeah.
Everybody laughs. The whole train claps.
The whole train claps. This is where Zeppile says like, "Gon is a dangerous man," because anything he's interested in, regardless of good or bad intentions, he'll try and make a friend out of them.
Yes. Yeah, that's that whole thing summarized. I like it. I think it's cute and fun, but yeah, whatever. I don't know.
I liked it, and then it just kept going and going.
It is very long.
If it was like half the length, I would have liked it a lot more, but this shit dragged for me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, okay, like we get it. You're beating the message over my head at this point. I get it now.
And this is honestly probably the funniest example of this thing we were just talking about how 99 doesn't pace things right or place them correctly either. Because we don't get a whole episode of Kurapika versus UVO, but we sure do get a whole episode of this. From start to finish, it's all this. And that is wild. That is wild.
And I know you said that like you were like a pretty like, big fan of just like learning about like how like the inner workings of these auctions and whatnot. But like, I'm gonna be real. I could care less. It's not really my favorite part of Hunter x Hunter, admittedly. This entire section, and not that I minded it before. I thought it was like fine, just wasn't my cup of tea, right? But an entire episode of this is so draining. Like it was hard for me to like actively focus on this episode.
It's something. It's one of those. It's a Togashiism. It's like the ultimate Togashiism. This stuff in the manga, it's optional. Okay, it's a couple boxes of dialogue. You can read it if you want. If you don't want to, just skip it, man. It's just what Togashi was feeling like talking about that week. Like it's whatever. But here, it's sat in front of you, animated with voice acting, and you kind of have to watch it. You're stuck.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the manga format, right? Like you can kind of like your pacing is like dictated by your reading ability, basically, right? But like here in animation format, you kind of just have to watch the entire thing, or else you could miss some important information. It's very easy to do that. Like you can't like it's a lot more convenient to like go like flip a couple pages back to reread something to see if you missed something, rather than like having to like find like maybe 30 seconds worth of info in like a 22-minute long video.
Yeah. Yep. So we end basically here with they're talking to Zeppile on a bench or whatever, just about how gist of it is auctioning is cool. This is a wild world. Zeppile is cool. And then they get a call from Leorio saying that he spotted 2 troop members, being Machi and Nobunaga.
And they immediately ditch his ass.
Yep, they dip. They run. And he's like, what the fuck? And also, by the way, in this last scene with him, his skin is like green. What the hell happened?
Yeah, what? I was gonna say, like, why did he get Hulkified here?
Yeah, he's like hulking out. What the hell's going on? Turned into a zombie. He was so shocked he fucking died. He's a rotting corpse for this last scene.
I completely forgot about that, man. Yeah, it threw me off so bad.
Dude, I like even rewind. I was like, did he look like that the whole time? And no, he didn't. He had a normal looking skin color, but the animator for this last scene just really wanted him to be green. So green he was.
Also, when he like pumps his fist into the air and like the color changes, he like gets a tan immediately.
Yeah, his skin color comes back. He's revived again.
But like, it's a different skin color than what he had before too. So he had like 3 different skin colors in this episode at various points.
Very interesting. Maybe that's his Nen ability.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that was about. But yeah, they tell him, leave it to you. You got it. Thank you, man. And they run off. And
Yatta.
Leading to cool stuff. Obviously, there's great stuff coming up next episode, but we don't get to see that. So
nope, that's next week.
We got a whole episode of this, which is wild. Oh my god. And again, guys, listen, I like this stuff. I've seen people hate on the Gon Killua stuff in this arc a lot. They think it completely derails. It should have been all Kurapika, whatever. I disagree. I think this has its place. I think, yes, it is more of a prelude to Greed Island rather than an addition to Yorknew City, at least for this segment of it. It's about to become more of a part of Yorknew. But I like it. I enjoy it. I think it's cute, fun. But this episode, this presentation, the length of this episode, the amount of time we spend with this plot line, including last episode as well, by the way. The fact that we opened and ended with that, and then we have a whole episode of this, and only like 75% of the last episode was Kurapika Uvo. Whack. It's all whack. I don't like how much time we're spending on this. It's extended in really weird ways that feels unlike 99. I would have thought they would extend the Kurapika stuff, to be honest. But it's taking a weird back seat now of all times, where it wasn't even before. I don't know what the priorities were here. It feels so weird, and like they just don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, again, we've said it a few times now. It's hard to pinpoint exactly why things ended up the way they did here. It's like, again, like you said, very much unlike 99 from what we would have expected going into this part. But yeah, I'm just, this entire batch, if I had to like summarize it in my feelings in one word, it'd just be confused. I'm just confused. Like, I don't understand a lot of these decisions at all. And it leaves me with a very frustrated feeling, especially in regards to the Uvo Kurapika fight, because I really, really do like aspects of that episode, and it could have been fantastic, and it's just like not, for really stupid reasons, I think, and it's just kind of frustrating and confusing.
Yes. Yeah, I'm completely with you. I did not expect to come out of these episodes feeling this way.
Me neither.
But I do. It's just weird. I don't know, man. It's so bizarre.
It's a damn shame, because like obviously Uvo Kurapika was kind of like one of the main things I was looking forward to this arc, and not to say that there isn't cool stuff coming up still in Yorknew to experience, and I'm still really excited for those moments as well. Everything with Crollo especially, like really anticipating that. So not all doom and gloom for Yorknew adaptation as a whole. Obviously, there's still plenty of good stuff to talk about, even that we've already experienced, but. It's just a shame. It's just a shame that like this one thing in particular I'm this sour on.
Yeah, it's really just a shame. I wish I could feel differently about this, but I don't.
Not to say it's the worst thing ever, but it's just disappointing compared to what we would have expected.
By no means is it the worst thing ever. It was still plenty enjoyable. But I wish it was better than that.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to at the end of the day, right? Like we feel like it could have and should have been better, right? Yeah.
All right. Any final closing thoughts?
I've come to really realize that 99 is just weird. That's kind of my closing thoughts on this batch. 99 is just a weird-ass adaptation in a lot of different ways.
It certainly is. That is the biggest takeaway. It's just a bizarre adaptation. Sometimes it's amazing. Other times, questionable.
Yeah.
And at worst, it's pretty bad. It's been pretty bad before.
It is the most
downright
mixed...
terrible.
It is the like literal definition of a mixed bag, right?
Yeah, it sure is. You never know what you're gonna get when you watch an episode.
Nope. You
I thought I knew what I was gonna get with episode 56, but I sure didn't get what I thought I would.
That's life.
That's is life.
Showbiz.
All right. I guess it's time to see what insert name had to say.
Yeah, let's go ahead and read the one comment for this week.
Let's do it.
Okay, now it's time to read what insert name has to say this week about Hunter x Hunter 1999 episodes 55 through 57. I'm quite frankly shocked that we only got one comment this week for Uvo Kurapika, but it is what it is.
Me too. I am worried. Like, I hope none of you guys were like still typing your comment and like you just, I don't know, didn't hit send yet or forgot to hit send or something. I don't know. But hey, if that is the case, submit it and we'll read it on our own time, but I guess just not on the show.
Yeah, or just, the comments of this episode even. We'll read everything there too, obviously. I'm really curious for thoughts on this batch, especially so. The more the merrier, even if you're not read on the show here live. So that being said, I'll give the usual reminder still. If you want to get in on the fun discussing any given topic week to week, make sure you keep an eye out for the YouTube community posts, and you can always submit your responses on Twitter and Bluesky as well. And of course, you can always email us your thoughts at hunterassociationpod@gmail.com. Insert name, you have the spotlight this week. We'll go ahead and get started with your comment. One thing that I found hilarious is, did the Phantom Troop get their spider coins custom?
Oh yeah, it did have like a spider on it.
Yeah, wait a minute. Huh.
I mean, they know a lot of people. I'm sure somebody
Like
just
that
made it for them.
definitely has to be like a black market thing, though. I'm not sure like there's a
Oh
ton of
yeah.
willing people that want to work with
I
the
mean, yeah,
troupe.
they also could have just forced somebody to make it.
That's true. Yeah, there's a lot of avenues they could have gone down, I suppose. Either way, funny that was a priority in the first place for them to get a spider themed coin.
I mean, when you solve all your problems with coin flips, I'm sure at some point somebody was like, we should probably just get like a cool custom one, so this is like more exciting.
This was definitely an idea from Shalnark. I'm convinced.
Yeah, definitely.
One thing I've never been able to parse is how Neon is so heartless that she barely reacts to her bodyguard's death, participates in the human body trade, and yet her inspiration for becoming an end user is helping other people through fortunes. Something doesn't seem right there. Yeah, I mean, she's just a weird character. Right?
She's just very, very weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think that's the whole point. She is just a bizarre individual.
Yeah, like you're supposed to be confused at how she's even like what her psyche even is, because like I think like it's supposed to elicit like a shock reaction when like they inform her like, yeah, like half of our bodyguards are dead because of this incident. And she's like, my mummy though, like
Yeah.
I don't think that's not supposed to be comic, or I mean it is comical, but like by consequence it's also just like, what the fuck, like what is up with you?
Yeah. It's super strange.
This batch is probably the best they have done with lighting in 1999. That I can agree with.
Yes,
I think the
absolutely.
lighting was fitting for the most part in pretty much like 90% of the scenes. So pretty happy with that.
For sure.
It's dark, but it's not the fully opaque shadows they use sometimes. All 3 episodes have subtle but creative use of colors, especially green, that really do come off as city lights and break up the monotony of the shadow filters. Yeah, completely agree. I think they made really excellent use of the colors and lighting here. Episode 55. Fink's headdress is too beige. It needs to be gold. I had a similar thought actually when I saw it again in that episode. Like,
he just needs to not wear it, period. That thing needs to go fast.
He needs to throw that in the garbage and finally speak a word so I can figure out if I like his voice.
Become a character, please.
Yeah. Soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
Squalla has a weird perspective shot where his up-close face looks weird as fuck. Yeah, there's like a fisheye lens kind of frame, I remember, I think.
Yeah, but it's like his nose was the focus rather than his eyes. It was really weird.
There's a nice clown guy at the end. Uvo's face at the end is not consistent with his design at all. Also, more Twin Tower sightings.
I haven't been looking for those.
I keep forgetting to look out for the Twin Towers ever since you made that prior comment.
Yeah.
My bad. A big fan of the glowing rectangular box, and putting the city in the background does a lot to establish the nature of small actors on a big stage. The interjection and overlapping of boxes is a clever way to show the immediacy and urgency of his response. Then cutting to Kurapika's eyes in the darkness is the chef's kiss. Great, fun, creative storytelling. Absolutely, yeah. I like the way they kind of just framed that conversation with the boss in general, right? It just worked. It built a sense of like suspense for the encounter to come.
Yes.
Basically everything with Uvo in episode 55 is great. The dead guy they stole the beers from has a haunting face. Good job, 1999. And the scene with him and Shalnark is executed well. They play up his kissing scene a lot. Perhaps a bit too played up, but it is very funny. I like it as a way to just like squeeze more character out of Uvo before he dies, immediately. But I don't think it's played up too much in that regard. I think it's funny and good. I especially love how dynamic he is in that scene where he's jumping from building to building. Yes, absolutely. It's one of my favorite scenes of that episode, if not my favorite. He feels heavy and strong, which really sells his freakish nature well, and the scene where he's broken into the mob guy's home is sufficiently intimidating. Couldn't agree more.
Absolutely. Episode 56, the shot of the buildings and Leorio's glasses is sick. I didn't even notice that, to be honest, but it was probably awesome. Before I begin, I want to briefly bring up 2 pieces in this fight. Or two, wait, what? Oh, two pet peeves, I think is what you meant to say.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Pet pieces.
Pet pieces.
How can Uvogin use Gyo when he's wrapped up in the chains as he's prompted to by Kurapika in various versions? Huh.
That's a really
point.
good question, actually. Huh.
Because he's supposed to be in Zetsu.
Yeah, so that's like no nen at all, which would include Gyo. Huh. That's weird. Okay. Much to think about there.
Unless I'm misremembering Zetsu, which is possible, but I don't know. Insert name seems to know what he's talking about, so.
It's not intuitive at the very least, which is odd.
Yes. I honestly don't understand what Uvogin did concealing himself in this concealing himself in the smoke was not Zetsu instead of Iin.
Oh, right. When
Uvogin did. Okay, explain.
in the fight when Uvo threw a punch into like the cliffside area and like a bunch of dust was around and Kurapika couldn't sense Uvo, you said it was because of Iin, but realistically that should have been Zetsu, right? Or yeah, like. Well,
or wait,
rather,
sorry. Yes. If
Uvo was concealing himself, he couldn't sense his aura, so like that should be
using Zetsu.
Zetsu, yeah, not Iin.
Huh. Is that present in the manga as well? I wonder.
I don't know, but that's how they presented it in '99, which is odd. It's been a bit since I've seen the other adaptations of the fight, so I can't say for certain if that was the same thing there. Either way, even if it is, weird inconsistency from Togashi there. That's crazy.
Also, small shout out to that scene where that happens, and then Uvo very quickly thinks to himself, "Damn, he must have seen a small shift in the dust to see me." I love an anime when that happens. Like, you don't really have to think that, but like you did it anyways.
Yeah, like damn, that pebble moved ever so slightly when I took a step, and so he knew I was
blew
coming.
It.
Yeah, in half a second. Anything to make sense of the quick reaction times.
Yeah. Anyways, he continues and says, "There's basically no reason that should be." Yeah. True.
Weird.
A while back, I stated that there were 4 premiere fights in '99. You have already experienced Gon versus Hanzo, Hisoka versus Gon, and now we're at the 3rd, and in my opinion, best of the fights in '99. I assume the 4th will be Crollo and the Zoldyx.
It almost has to be, right?
I don't know what else it would be. Unless, well, maybe the dodgeball match way later, but I doubt it. Could be. Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe. But I don't know.
Or hey, Gon versus Genthru, Dylan. Have you considered?
Oh, true. Wait, no, you're cooking now. You're cooking.
But yeah, this is the best one in his opinion. In fact, I'd argue this is the only fight in the entire series that understands the oh wow, okay, dynamics involved in this fight and uses creative choices to further enforce the theme. All right, so I don't agree at all, but let me hear what you have to say.
I'm open to hearing his perspective on this. Like maybe I'm just like missing a key piece of information that makes it make more sense.
I'm going to be doing a lot of comparisons to 2011, but I want this to be made clear. This is the best fight in '99. It is a good fight that I greatly enjoy, and it's fascinating how 2 wonderful representations of this engagement fundamentally approach this from almost isometric perspectives. I think the first topic I'd like to point out is that I think '99 understood the thematic element of the fight to its core, and actually I'd argue far more effectively than the 2011 team. Oh man. Okay. The fight is at a fundamental level the moment Kurapika leaps off the edge doing something contrary to his nature out of anguish and despair. Correct, yeah. The 2 representations of this fight approach it from different angles, 1999 from the perspective of Kurapika and 2011 from the perspective of Uvogin, and by extension, the audience. There are consequences to 99's choice here, but the biggest benefit is the tonal alignment of the purpose and mood of the scene. The tone of this fight comes from Kurapika. He doesn't want to do this as such. When he actually achieves his aims, nothing about this fight feels triumphant. Kurapika is mentally and emotionally strained. The bombastic horns representing the intensity of battle are replaced with echoing, ominous tones and dour imagery. The act of violence he commits onto others is treated like a course of action he must step down to commit against his best wishes. It's somber, and Kurapika's anguish is heightened, and the focus of the shots is on how what he's doing is affecting him and not Uvogin. Before he gains the upper hand, he's an impassive mass, clinical in his execution. His actions have an impassivity to them that is contrasted with the bombastic nature of Uvogin. They let the action play out, and as such, there's a lot less emphasis placed on Kurapika's success. What he's doing is like moving through the motions.
This is making sense of like how kind of quickly the fight happens in comparison to the other adaptations, and for that I can appreciate this perspective a little bit. That's interesting. I'm thinking on this still, but I just wanted to make note of that.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. I still am not fully on board, though. Focusing on the pre-fight rituals is a really good idea. Yeah, I like that a lot. Lingering on the childlike glee of Uvogin reacting to disturbing shit while Kurapika is having a somber prayer is an amazing contrast of the constituents' personalities.
Yeah.
I also just really love the prayer they chose for Kurapika. It works. Yeah, I like that too.
Very believable. Yeah, I liked it a lot. Okay, yeah, this is interesting so far. Let me read the rest of what you had to say, though. The action in this is just so fluid. We can agree on that at least, 100%. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
This was the fight-colored aura. This is what the fight-colored aura was made for, and I think it's pretty telling it sneaks into the 2011 version of this fight. 2011 did do something kind of similar, didn't they, with this fight? Maybe not to the extent that 99
not
did, but
quite as much, yeah.
Yeah. The lighting combined with the pop of color really draws your eyes to the action. A key feature that makes this work so much better than the previous UVO scene is that the auras are transparent again as opposed to opaque like they were before. The color choices are excellent here. Kurapika's looks like it has a depth to it that clings to every link of his chain and glistens in his eyes, making him appear absolutely haunting. I also like to shout out how the interjection of the chains cutting the tree actually works super well here. Yeah, I like that a lot, like where Uvo was trying to bust out of the chains and then it cuts to like the tree like breaking with the chains.
Yeah, that was sick.
It looked very, very cool. Not only is that exhibition sick as hell, but these two scenes are narratively linked. Kurapika leaving his mentor was him fervently ignoring his warning, and here we are at the moment he walks towards the path of revenge. The two episodes mesh together excellently, and the reminder is a good way to strengthen that narrative thread. Completely agree. It was very fitting and a very good cutaway when it needed to happen. One of the visual things I absolutely adore is the consistency of the hole from the leech fight being there in almost every shot. Yes, absolutely. They didn't have to do that, really, but they committed to it, and I respect the hell out of that. Yeah. And the way the Nen resonance effect mixes with the music is like humming tones of a halogen lamp in a room. It just adds depth to the music in a way that I don't feel qualified to describe, but I know I just love. Soundtrack was great. Absolutely. Now where this fails is the tactical element of the fight is pretty much gone. Okay, yeah, now we're kind of
now you're speaking my language.
Yeah. Or to be more precise, it's severely diminished. This was aided by the failure to establish Nen. I also 100% agree with that. Yeah.
All comes back to that.
I mean, this is the first real on-screen showcase of Ian. It's not set up. And the lack of reaction shots just simply doesn't provide you the ability to get the full scope of the tactics involved in a Nen fight beyond the surface level. Right. That said, this is the best fight in the series in this regard, as while it lacks the same impact if you had foreshadowed Ian, it's an okay showcase of that skill, the whole cloud stuff is decent, and the high-level design of the ability is still intact. This is especially noticeable because this is 2011's superpower. It is so effective at providing clear time and space to get the watcher at the same level of the action on screen, providing reactions, tactical pauses, and all the while still providing the punch of the fight. Importantly, I'd argue this fight is from Uvogin's perspective in the 2011 anime. I can kind of get on board with that, actually. I see the perspective there. I'd have to rewatch the fight, though, to be
I think I'm of the opinion that it's, well, just keep reading. Let me sit on that for a little bit.
Most of it is him trying to break down Kurapika's ability. Yeah, that's partly why I was kind of leaning towards that, too. He comes off smarter there, as he should, because he's not just some big brute. It's a clue to his underlying complexity that he and the troop all share. And it's through his eyes that the audience breaks down the fight. Ultimately, the final moments of the fight are not about Kurapika's action. Actually, it's about the contrast Kurapika is expecting from Uvogin and what he gives. Uvo, a seeming monster to the end, is unwilling to sacrifice his friends and triumphantly sacrifice himself by not yielding to Kurapika's inquiries, leaving Kurapika to react to the fact he didn't get what he wanted from this exchange. Left in an anguish that the monster would protect his friends, but also be so callous with others' lives. Kurapika was left without a simple answer and the feeling of having vanquished a greater evil that justified his path. Accurate to me. Yeah. I don't really have any notes there. I generally prefer 1999 in isolation, but 2011 is integrated better into the structure of the show itself, using previous formatting choices to build an expectation and impact future ones. But when I hear people say they prefer this one, I think that's fully justified. Spectacular fight. I especially love Uvo's somersault type thing.
Okay, I see. But yeah, I guess I can, whenever you say that specific line about how you prefer an isolation, I can get behind that. Because yes, it is cool if you don't think about anything else surrounding it. But I can't do that personally. I just can't. This is such a big moment for not only Kurapika, but the whole story. I mean, this affects
this is a butterfly effect moment.
Yeah, this is an insane moment. This is one of the defining moments of the series. This changes everything. And the fact that you don't feel that, really, at least right here. I mean, maybe, you know, you'll have to feel the reverberations of it throughout the rest of this arc, because the rest of this arc is about the fallout of this happening. But I don't, based on how it was presented to me here, I don't even feel like that should happen. You know, like, I don't feel like the rest of this arc should be about the fallout of this event, because it just doesn't feel that important, which is so weird. And I don't know. I just vastly prefer 2011 and obviously the manga as well. I don't know. I get what you're saying, and I agree. I think the whole that it's from Kurapika's perspective is a really cool way to view it, because yeah, in that sense, there is no reason to explain the abilities. If it's from his perspective, it's just going through the motions. This is what was preordained to happen. He knew the fight would go this way. It was no sweat. But where's that coming from? Because it's not from the manga. The manga's not presented that way. So 99 was just like, all right, let's just do this. And I don't think it was the right call, because it just doesn't work for me. I don't know. I can't really explain it any better than that. It's just not what I want to see from this fight, at least in the context of the series as a whole.
You know, I almost wonder if, like, our issues with, like, regarding that for this fight, Kaige, is that we, not only has it been from our experience with seeing this fight take place in the other adaptations, but because, like, by seeing the fight through an Uvo perspective predominantly, and being able to kind of, like, you know, build the tension in the moments from his side, that kind of leads more into a bigger payoff for the rest of the arc from the troop side, especially, you know, when they, you know, they change their plans basically, and they you know, start killing everybody. Everything that basically the fallout that happens from that, it's a bigger punch and bigger reverberations felt when you make it feel important from the perspective of Uvo. But then by, like, kind of filtering it to mainly be Kurapika's perspective through this fight, it kind of, you know, lessens the impact of that. And so that leaves a sour taste in my mouth to kind of like look forward to the rest of the arc. And that sounds a little dramatic, I'm aware, but like just kind of trying to give an idea as to why maybe this is a little bit more of a sour taste for us.
Yeah, I mean, we're also huge Uvo fans. I think most people know that. And to have his final moment feel kind of like a footnote is a little unfortunate. It just,
Yeah.
you know.
But I think you've given a really valid perspective here, though, in a certain name, and I do kind of I understand it a bit more as to like why this would be, you know, someone's favorite fight in the like in 99, or just like they like the adaptation or prefer it even. I can understand it at least now, where previously I maybe would not have understood it. But I still do think that like it's just missing the sauce for me that like 2011 had, especially with presenting the fight. And I think I just prefer it as a result. But either way, interesting stuff to think about here, though, in terms of like maybe why they presented it the way they did here. Finishing up in certain names comment, though, unless you had anything else to say, Kaige, on that.
No, not yet.
Okay. It seems 1999 is physically incapable of showing the order of events in chronological order. All right, now we're speaking our language again. It seems I can see no benefit to shifting their conversation in the dinner after the initial rejection or injection by our boy's zip file. Love that. I can think of no benefit to doing it this way. The zoomed-in nature of the diner scene and the context cuts is really bad editing and shot composition. If they had put the piles vase he created in the shot, if they put that vase he created in the shot so the subject of discussion was in frame, it would be so much clearer to follow. In addition, it's a lot of fast dialogue with no visual aids to parse the discussion. Not a fan. Yeah, I mean that's probably why I was snoozing at the wheel in that section too, because like it was just like back and forth, question asking, but like there's no like visual accompaniment for me to like. Yeah, just boring to look at, I think. Yeah,
That's that whole episode. It's just really not a good looking episode.
No. This feels like it's here because they couldn't cut the escape from the plot, but I don't think the anime team cares about this material. I do love the addition of an overlay text in the shop scene. It looks so retro and fun and almost justifies the entire space of black void they put up there for contrast. The emotional impact of Zapile and Gon's relationship from that scene just does land here because of the pacing and editing. The context of the dispute over the authenticity of the jar is baffling in this version. They have the constituent parts. Why do it this way?
I don't know.
99. Yeah, I wish I had an answer. I don't know either.
It's just the way it is. I don't get it either. It makes no sense to me.
See, the thing is, though, like you say, like you don't think the anime team cares about this material, but they gave an entire episode to this plot point.
I think they really do care about it. They've also extended it on multiple occasions, as we've discussed. I think they care about it a little too much. I don't know. I don't know what's happening over there. I can't figure it out, or what was happening in 1999 or 2000, I guess.
Another instance where I would have loved to be a fly on the wall, but it is what it is, I guess.
I don't know. I don't get it.
I don't know. But yeah, really appreciate the perspective here today, Insert Name. Really gave a lot to think about, I think. Good conversation, despite you being the only comment this week. So thank you for that. Kudos to you.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll give the usual reminder again, though, if you want to be like Insert Name and be a part of these discussions on any given topic week to week, make sure you keep an eye out for the YouTube community posts. You can always post your responses to Bluesky and Twitter as well, and of course, also our email at hunterassociationpod@gmail.com.
That's right. And with that, this has been the Hunter Association. Thank you so much for listening. We are available on all major podcasting platforms, as well as YouTube for the video version. Be sure to follow, rate, review, and comment on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You can also follow us on Twitter at TXHXAPod, as well as Bluesky at THAPod for updates on the show and as an alternative way to submit responses to the weekly call-out post. As always, we'll be here at the same time every week talking about Hunter x Hunter. Dylan, where can people find you online?
You can find me online at DJ Tengen. That's DJTENGEN on both Twitter and Bluesky. Go give me a follow if you're interested in what I'm doing.
And you can follow me on Bluesky and YouTube at Manga Kaige.
He makes videos about manga.
That's right, I do.
And Lego One Piece.
Yeah, mega flop though.
I enjoyed the video a lot.
Thank you. The people who did watch it liked it, but I know it's not for everybody. It was basically none of my core audience watched it, which makes sense. I mean, it's not directly about manga, but I thought it was adjacent enough to fit the channel. But I guess I was wrong. It's okay.
We love for fun videos, for creator videos every once in a while.
That's right. All right. Again, community comments. Thank you. Insert name. And if I just want to throw this out there, if anybody, because I feel like this is what happened. Philip Millmore and Magitech. If you guys were like, you just didn't get this in time, because we did record a little earlier. Well, very slightly earlier than usual, to be fair in our case. But I feel like you guys just didn't get them submitted in time, because I do see you guys often, like Saturday morning, submit your comments. So, sorry if that is what happened and we get a notification later that one of you commented and we missed it. I'll feel bad, but I'm sorry.
It is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
We will read it, though, if you do submit it. Like, trust, obviously.
Oh, absolutely. So. Yeah, I'm very, very interested to hear more perspectives on this batch. All right. That's all we got for this week. Next week, we will be talking, of course, about 99 once again. Episodes 58 through 60. We are very close to the end of the TV series. We will be finishing that up the following week, actually. Just the week after next will be the end of.
Won't be
TV
long
show.
until we're at the OVAs, so strap in, everybody.
Yeah, pretty exciting.
We got some exciting stuff in this next batch, too, so it should be a good time. Make sure you get your comments in for that when the post goes up.
Coming up. Yep. All right, that's all we got, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for listening and watching.
Yeah, take care, everybody.